I'd like to call to order the Public Health and Safety Committee in the Village of Hoffman Estates, October 28th, 2019. May I have a roll call, please?
Chairman Gata.
Present.
Vice Chairman Palafis.
Present.
Trustee Newell.
Present.
Trustee Mills.
Present.
Trustee Stanton.
Present.
Trustee Arnett.
Present.
Mayor McLeod.
Present.
Thank you, and we have a quorum. Approval of the minutes of September 23rd, 2019.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any corrections? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Under new business, we only have one item. Request approval of an amendment to Section 5-6-9, Sworn Personnel, Hoffman Estates Fire Department of the Hoffman Estates Municipal Code. I need a motion.
So moved.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any questions up here? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you. Under reports, information only. First report, Police Department monthly report. Chief, anything to add? Nothing. Thank you. Received and filed. Number 2, Health and Human Services monthly report. Dr. Savicha? Nothing to add. Okay, that's received and filed. Number 3, Emergency Management Coordinator monthly report. Received and filed. And number 4, Fire Department monthly report. Chief, anything? Nothing. Received and filed. President's report.
Yeah, there's a couple things that are coming up. One, we got the Heavenly Brew Fest coming up in November 1st at the Marriott from 6 p.m. to 10. And on the 2nd, we have the Public Works Open House from 10 to 12, always a good time. They'll have all their equipment outside, and kids can get a ride in a snowplow. That's a pretty good gig. And they smash the pumpkins. Yeah, they drop them from a hijacker. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Okay, last week we had some stuff going on. There's no question about that. We had, on Wednesday, we had the senior luncheon, the Senior Citizens Commission luncheon, and also followed by Wine Wednesday that evening at First Place Sports Bar, which was very good. Nice turnout. Ms. Georgievic has done a good job in building that event. Thank you. On Thursday, 24th, I participated in the Northwest Municipal Conference Transportation Committee. And that evening, we had the French Sister City event over the bridges of Poplar Creek, and the Consul General from the Midwest from France was there. He was a very charming man. We had a great time. I think everybody else did too. On Friday the 25th, I had a mayor for a day, a 6-year-old young man whose mother had called and said he really wants to be mayor. You know, can you meet the mayor and whatever? And so Jen says, hey, he can be mayor for a day. So we did have a great day. Got to participate in a ribbon cutting and did all kinds of great stuff. On Saturday, we had the Arts Commission painting event. It was very well attended and it's conducted by a local artist from Hoffman Estates. Also attended the ribbon cutting for the newly refurbished Hanover Township Food Pantry. Went over to Hoffman High for Cupcakes with Friends for the donation. And then we went to a block party, Trustee Newell, Trustee Gata, and I, out west. And it was raining very heavily, but they
Good thing they went
into the garage and still carried on. And, you know, that was a great event. On Sunday, I went to Harvest Fest at Hoffman Estates High Schools. This is Harvest Church, not Harvest Bible, but Harvest Church. And they had a great turnout. And they had a food pantry there, and they had clothing and shoes and everything. It was really, they got some great, they have some great members for their congregation. And this evening, we celebrated Trustee Palafis' birthday, a little late, but nevertheless. And I think that's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Let's see, we have nothing in other items in review and looking for an adjournment.
So moved. Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. We are adjourned. Thank you.
Like to call to order the Finance Committee for tonight, October 28th, 2019. Could I have a roll call, please?
Chairperson Palafis.
Present.
Vice Chairperson Newell.
Present.
Trustee Gata.
Present.
Trustee Mills.
Present.
Trustee Stanton.
Present.
Trustee Arnett.
Present.
Mayor McLeod.
Present.
Thank you. We have a quorum. I would entertain a motion for the approval of the minutes from September 23rd,
So
2019.
moved.
Second.
Motion is second. Any questions or comments, changes? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, motion carried. We'll also entertain a motion for the special Finance Committee meeting on October 7, 2019.
So moved.
Second.
The motion is second. Any questions, comments? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, motion carried. New business. We actually went to 2 pages. Can't remember how long ago that's happened. The first is a request approval of a resolution urging the General Assembly to enact Public Safety Pension Fund consolidation.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. Any questions or comments?
This has been a long-standing effort by the Illinois Municipal League and the Northwest Municipal Conference and all the councils of government to increase the revenues that are derived from investments and setting up an IMRF type of fund for both police and fire, 2 separate ones. And I think if this passes, this will be a great thing for us and for the people getting the pensions, because it'll make them more
Yeah.
secure.
I like the charts that show the if you do or if you don't type of approach. All right, having no questions or comments, all in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, motion carried. Item number 2 is a request approval of payment from the developer's portion of the 2017 tax levy, year EDA Special Tax Allocation Fund of $5,153,317 to Sears, Roebuck and Company as the developer. And part 2 is $2 million to Community Unit School District 300, CUSD 300, pursuant to the October 23rd, 2019 court order of the United States Bankruptcy Court for the Southern District of New York.
So moved.
Second.
Your motion is second. Any questions, comments? Patty, do you want to give any updates, or?
Just say no.
You walked all the way up.
I
so
kept
figured-
pushing it back over toward Rachel. This is the final payment of 2017 increment. Previously, there have been, I think, 2 other approvals this year. We're down to this payment. The court is urging the debtors to cash out, liquidate everything they possibly can so that the bankruptcy can go through. The confirmation plan has been approved, but now they're on a big effort to collect all available cash. Once this amount becomes available, it is subject to objection. And District 300 objected to the Sears debtors getting the entire $7.1 million, which was the balance of the 55% remaining with the village. In view of that, the debtors worked out an arrangement with District 300, effectively said, what is the value of your claim? They arrived at that amount, and the $2 million is not anything additional the village is paying. It is being carved out of the $7.1 million that should be going to the debtors.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions, comments? We have a motion, a second. Oh, I'm sorry, Gary Stanton.
What happens to 2018 allotment?
That's a good question. That's not being addressed by the bankruptcy court. Actually, Transform Holdco, which was the bidder for the assets of the debtors, came in February. So they would have the bulk of 2018. We don't know.
Is
Right now,
300
this-
trying to get any of that money as well?
The complaint that's pending in the Circuit Court of Cook County, which is different than the bankruptcy case, although some of the issues are the same, has made a claim for 2018, but that's not being addressed in Cook County yet and is not before the bankruptcy court at this point.
Thank you.
All right.
Hey, Gary,
Appropriate counsel.
As to Trustee Stanton, there was, everything was tied up in the bankruptcy court. Both monies that were paid prior to 2017, tax year 17, the 2017 monies that are before this committee tonight, and which will now all be distributed, and there'll be no claims pending as to 2017. 2018 monies, which are just coming now, and Rachel will be holding those, are in all likelihood going to be subject to litigation in Cook County. The 2018 tax year monies that were collected in 2019, in all likelihood, are going to be held by the village until further order of court, because I think the state courts will just require that. And then there are also issues of what happens 2019, 2020, 2021. But it's hopeful that right now we're kind of done with the bankruptcy court and we're done with New York. In all likelihood, everything's going to come back to Cook County, and we'll start from scratch to litigate possible claims for pre-2017 monies and to determine where the 2018 monies that we're now holding are going to go. So that's where we are.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So we have a motion and a second, pending no other questions. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, motion carried. Item number 3 is a request authorization to award a contract to provide snow plowing services at the Sears Center Arena for the 2019-2020 winter season to Tovar Snow Professionals, East Dundee, Illinois, at unit rates included in the proposal.
So moved.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any questions? Trustee Stanton?
Why don't we do it ourselves?
Is that for me? Do I answer that? I don't know.
Actually, it would technically
Buddy
be
here.
Joe, but
No, it's not uncommon for buildings to not rely on the municipal services to do it. They usually, buildings do it themselves. So, I mean, we've always done it that way. But I couldn't comment from a broader village standpoint why we don't do it that way.
just give Joe a chance to bid.
Joe, you want to?
So the reason we don't do it that way is all of our personnel are tied up doing streets at the time, and it's really hard to explain to a resident why a village truck is plowing an arena lot when when in their minds, it should be plowing the street. So doing it contractually allows us to have that separation, and frankly, it's also cheaper. We're not paying their pensions, we're not paying their health insurance.
That makes sense. Thank you.
What Jim said.
Nice explanation, Ben.
That's
Thank you.
right.
He's got my back, I got his. What can I say?
Yeah.
Works out well. All right. Any other questions, comments? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, motion carried. Might need that snow removal soon.
Oh, don't say that.
Sad to say. Item number 4 is a request authorization to award the professional financial audit services contract for the Village and the Sears Center Arena for the 2019 fiscal year to BKD CPAs and Advisors for a cost not to exceed $66,595, with the option of extending the contract for each of the years 2020, 2021, 2022, and 2023.
So moved.
Second.
Motion a second. Any questions, comments? Rachel, do you want to add anything?
I just want to mention that, we've finished our 5-year agreement with Sickich, and I have no complaints about Sickich at all. They've done very well for us over the last 5 years. But we felt we needed to go out for pricing, and I'm glad we did because we found some really favorable pricing out there, and I'm really confident that BKD will be able to do just as good of a job as Sickich did in terms of audit approach and thoroughness and expertise. So I have confidence in them.
All righty. Having no questions, all in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries. Number 5, request authorization to award a contract for the 2020 Northwest Fourth Fest fireworks display to Melrose Pyrotechnics Incorporated, Kingsbury, Indiana, in an amount not to exceed $40,250.
So moved.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any questions? Comments? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, motion carried. Item number 6 is a request authorization to waive formal bidding and purchase 9 semi-ruggedized laptop computers and accessories to CDS Office Technologies, State of Illinois Master Contract CMS 5848520, for use in the Police Department patrol and response vehicles in an amount not to exceed $36,072.
So moved.
Second.
A motion is second. Any questions, comments? Fred, do you want to add anything? You good? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Motion carried. We have the three information-only reports. The first is the Finance Department monthly report. Any questions, comments? Having none, that report will be filed. Item number 2 is Information Systems Development monthly report. I'm sorry, Development Department. My bad. Any questions, comments? Having none, that report will be filed. And the third is the Sears Center monthly report. Any questions? Gary Stanton.
Ben, what is Elevation Nights 2020 tour?
It's a pastor speaking. That's as much as I know. He's a very popular pastor. That's all I know. So the building is built for 9,000 seats. So we'll see if he can fill it. But if you look at his tour, he is going to nothing but NBA buildings. We're the smallest building he is going to. But I cannot say I've ever heard of him previous to them calling. So
Do we know his name?
offhand, I don't.
Oh,
Is it
Stephen
Stephen
Furtick? Must be.
Let's go with that.
It says featuring him, so.
Yeah, I looked it up because I was like, oh, this seems interesting. I saw a picture, I didn't recognize him, and I wasn't familiar with his work. I'm not in the demo for multiple reasons. But yeah, he's going to the LA Forum and a bunch of other NBA buildings, so he must be popular.
Okay, I thought maybe we were getting a singing group or something for a change.
There is a band, so he may sing.
Okay.
I don't know if it's well, but I'll let you know. But it's in May. I'll know more. By the time it comes in May, I'll know all kinds of stuff about it.
All right.
So there you go.
Thanks, Ben.
Yeah, no problem.
CV is more popular than Glenn Beck. Anything else you want to provide us with now that you're at the microphone, or you missed a month or so being sick and out? And
Did I? Yeah, I've been under the
maybe.
weather.
It feels like it.
No, we're ahead of budget. Just kind of prepping for the Windy City Bowl season. Opening games November 9th. We're excited for that. And then we have Paw Patrol. We have our annual Beer Fest. We have AEW Wrestling come back on the 27th of November. That'll be live on TNT, so that'll be fun. And then we go into December with cheerleading and more games. So I think you guys have all been invited to the first game, correct? So hopefully you guys can make it. Should be a pretty packed house, actually, so we're looking forward to it.
Hey, I paid for it.
Right, I know you'll be there. And I've heard rumblings that the team might actually have some interesting talent that'll be nationally notable, so that'll be excited. So
Cool.
we're seeing if that'll be confirmed in the next day or so, but we might actually see some real good basketball.
Outstanding.
That's all I got.
Any other questions, comments? All right.
Gentleman's name is Stephen Furtick.
Furtick.
That's what it says on your website.
Nice. All right. So the Sears Center monthly report will be filed. President's report.
Nothing else, Trustee Palafis.
And other, we have the Capital Improvement Board next Wednesday, and I believe the Wednesday after that, we have the pre-board meeting, or the pre-financial budget workshop, sorry. Thursday the 14th. That's what I meant, thank you. All right, well, Rachel said. So we have a couple of things coming up, finance-related. Be there or be square. No items in review, and we'll entertain a motion and a second to adjourn.
So moved. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, ayes have it, we're adjourned, thank you.
Okay, I had one more than you. Okay, I'd like to call the Public Work and Utility Committee to order on October 28, 2019. May I have a roll call, please?
Chairperson Newell,
Present.
Vice Chairperson Gata,
Present.
Trustee Palafis.
Present.
Trustee Mills,
Present.
Trustee Stanton.
Present.
Trustee Arnett,
Present.
Mayor McLeod.
Present.
Okay, we have a quorum, and the next item would be the approval of minutes from September 23rd, 2019.
So moved.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any deletions, corrections, additions? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
No nays, motion passed. Under new business, we have 7 items, I think. Okay, 7 items. So item number 1 is the discussion regarding the 2019-2020 snow ice control policy and procedure manual. Joe, any discussion? It's not going to snow tonight, right?
Not tonight. We present our snow and ice control policy and procedure manual to the committee every year, just so that you guys can take a look at it. There aren't many significant changes other than removing personnel that have retired or since left the village and replacing them with who to call or who's up next. So outside of that, there really wasn't that many changes to policy from last year.
Okay. Any questions?
We need a motion to accept?
I think so.
So moved.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
No nays, motion passed. Item number 2, request approval of a resolution adopting the 2019 update of the Cook County Multi-Jurisdictional Hazard Mitigation Plan.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Anything to add on that, anyone? Any questions? Trustee Mills?
I was kind of surprised to see some towns that do not participate in this, in our area. Is there, do we know if there's a reason, or what happens? Do we just pull them in case of an emergency, or what?
I can tell you that if you don't apply, then you won't have access to the FEMA MWRD grants.
Okay, that makes
We
sense.
found that out several years ago, before the 2014 iteration, when we were applying for some grants, and it's important to do. Some communities may not be big enough to think it's worth their while. A project's big enough, or frankly, they may not have staff to do
I
it.
see Elgin on that list.
They may go into the Kane County,
Ah, okay.
and typically you have to opt into one county or the
Okay,
other.
that makes sense then. Okay, thank you.
Seeing no other questions, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
No nays, motion passed. Item number 3, request authorization to reject all bids for the purchase and installation of a grinder and related improvements at Moon Lake Lift Station.
So moved.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Do you have anything to add on that, Joe?
We're going to rebid this. We're going to make some changes to the bid documents. We did some follow-up with a couple of the vendors that bid and believe that there was some language in the bid document regarding liquidated damages and the length of time that they had to complete the project. And we found out that the lead time for some of the parts was almost half of the time that we were allotting them to complete the project. So there were some vendors that just chose not to bid it at all, and others chose to jack the price up significantly. So we're going to make some modifications and then go back and rebid.
Trustee Mills?
Do we feel comfortable with this engineering cost estimate? That's like 50% of what the bids came in at?
To come to that estimate, he actually talked to a contractor that was going to bid on it until he saw the liquidated damages clause that's in the bid document. So his cost estimate was based on what a contractor guessed what they would charge for the project. So we may have him modify that up a little bit considering the other bids that we got. We're also hoping that we may have caught the vendors at a bad time in the early fall by going out to bid, where in the late fall, they're gearing up for work for next year. So they might be able to put it in their schedule a little bit more. We were hoping to get it in this fall, and a lot of contractors have already booked solid through the rest of the year.
Okay. All right.
Okay, seeing no other questions, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
No nays, motion passed. Item number 4, request authorization to award contract for the 2019-2020 front-end loader rental to United Rentals out of Elk Grove Village, Illinois, in an amount not to exceed $15,264.
So moved.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Trustee Mills?
I see that we could only come up with one out of the 3. Is that going to be a major hindrance for us?
We're going to try.
Hopefully not.
Yeah. It depends on the
Hopefully we
snowfall.
don't
And
get the
if
snow,
if
yeah.
we're able to, what we're going to do is, we're going to try to rent them two additional ones. When we see a significant snowfall coming, we're going to make a call right away and see if we can just rent it for a couple of days, as opposed to having it for an entire 4 months. We use the end loaders in a couple of the cul-de-sac routes that are up north where there's a lot of townhouses and there's real tight cul-de-sacs. So we can get through there with a pickup truck and get it passable. But if we're unable to secure 2 other ones for large snowfalls, we'll have to follow up with the end loader that we do have. It'll just take us a while longer to get there.
Do we just keep that one in, when we rent it, do we just keep it on premises all winter?
Correct.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Okay, seeing no other questions, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
No nays, motion passed. Item number 5, request authorization to award contract for the 2019-2020 sanitary sewer rehabilitation for compliance with the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District, which is the MWRD, Infiltration Inflow Control Program, IICP, to Michael's Pipe Services, which is out of Brownsville, Wisconsin, in an amount not to exceed $160,000.
So moved.
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Do we have anything to add to that? No questions? Okay.
No, nothing to add.
Okay, thank you. So we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
No nays, motion passed. Item number 6, it has 3 parts. Request authorization to A, purchase 1,500 tons of winter road salt in 2019 at $82.71 per ton from Morton Incorporated out of Chicago, Illinois, at a cost of $124,065. B, award contract for State of Illinois joint purchase of 2019-2020 winter road salt to Cargill Incorporated out of North Olmsted, Ohio, based on the purchase of 2,000 tons in 2019 at $89.33 per ton from Cargill Incorporated at a cost of $178,660. And C, purchase a minimum of 2,400 tons, which is 80% of winter road salt from Cargill Incorporated, North Olmsted, Ohio, in 2020 at $89.33 per ton at a cost not to exceed $214,000.
So moved.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Trustee Mills.
Why 3 different contracts on this?
There's actually two contracts. The B and the C are
Yeah.
Cargill. That's our typical
Yeah.
agreement that we've had through the state of Illinois. We wanted to call out that we want to purchase some of it this year and some of it next year, which is what we've done in the past. The A is we went out on the open market to see if we could beat the price, because if you noticed, our price went up from the high 40s last year
I can't
to
believe that.
$89 a ton this year. And it's in that ballpark throughout.
Demand.
It's demand. It's the winter last year was pretty hard, and everybody's domes were empty, and everybody's got their hand out to try to get some salt. So it's complete supply and demand. So we wanted to take advantage of a little bit favorable pricing. If we're able to purchase the A item A, it's going to save the village about $10,000 at that quantity versus what the other cost is. And then we'll also have a significant amount of salt going into the season. We're looking to fill the dome before the season hits, and then we're already using salt very conservatively. We're going to double our efforts this year given the cost, but we felt it prudent to try to get some more salt at a cheaper price if we
Well,
could.
that price increase is ridiculous this
Yeah.
year.
And we're gonna look at next year to see what our options are as far as potentially splitting. We in the past, since I've been here, we've only had one contract for salt. We may look to have our typical amount from that contract, the state of Illinois purchase, and we may take the other half and either try to join a different consortium through one of the other counties, or potentially just go open market and see what we can get on our own.
And that
So-
doesn't invalidate the contract we have with the state.
No, if we give them a quantity that they,
Okay.
if we say we're gonna buy 3,000, if we wanna buy 6,000 for the year, but we say we're gonna buy 3,000 from you and we're committed to that, and then we can buy salt wherever we want, just we have to buy 3,000 from them. So, we may do that to try to, we have these ups and downs like this. If we're able to smooth that out a little bit, so it's a little bit more, I don't know, easier to budget, if
Manageable.
you will, yeah. We're gonna try that. There's other communities that have taken that approach, so.
Thanks.
Trustee Stanton?
Our operating budget for salt this year was, how much was it?
I don't know off the top of my head. We're going to exceed our budget for this year.
Yeah, I've got that we have $516,725 that we're going to spend for the salt that we're ordering. And I have like $58,205 left over from last year and $214 for this coming year of 2020, which leaves us with a deficit of $244,520. Is that about right?
That's right.
Okay. So where are we coming up with the rest of the money? Just out of the general fund?
It'll be out of all the salt budget comes out of the general fund
Okay.
regardless. And this is not an unusual thing to occur. We've had years when we've exceeded our salt budget by more than double. And that's why we do the budget adjustments both at mid-year and year-end. We'll accommodate it at year-end when we know what the actual cost is.
Sure.
We should still be in pretty good shape this year,
Okay.
based upon what we brought you at the mid-year budget. And
Wait.
we've already talked about this, believe me, at length, but this is one of those things that in reality you don't have a choice on. It's like gasoline for the trucks to actually do the snow removal,
Sure.
right? So,
Which is why we're trying to fill the dome this year, since there was more funds available this year as opposed to next year, because we have no idea what next year will bring.
I just wanted to make sure where it's coming from. That's
no,
all.
believe me, it was the subject of conversation at several budget meetings.
All right, seeing no further questions, we have a motion and a second. All in favor for all
Aye.
three items?
Aye.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Right? Okay. Motion passed. Item number 7, request authorization to award a contract for the Almond Lane and Audubon Street Culvert Replacement Project to A-Lamp Concrete Contractors Incorporated of Schaumburg, Illinois, which was the low bid, in an amount not to exceed $359,366.
So moved.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any questions? Anything to add?
As you may recall, this item came up earlier in the year. It's kind of an urgent need. What about the committee, and Chastain and Associates was working on design through the year. And we still hope to get that pipe in and installed for the end of the year.
Before the freeze? Yeah.
Well, before some freezes, be after some, before others.
All right, Trustee Gata?
Yeah, and you know what, just looking at the bid summary from the low of A Lamb, okay, up to Morrow Sewer, which is quite a bit difference. I mean, I can see a few thousand or something like that, but what was their reasoning on the bidding?
Yeah, so our take from some of the bidders and potential bidders was with underground work, many contractors are scheduled out several months in advance. So many of them are already not available to do the work, or only available over kind of overtime and such. So ones that do have crews available will get a little favorable price, but many are well booked out in the time of year.
Now I understand that. Thank you.
All right, seeing no other questions, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
No nays, motion passed. Reports, which are for information only. The first one is Department of Public Works Monthly Report. Do we have anything to add?
Nothing to add.
Okay, thank you. So we will receive and file that report. Item number 2 is Department of Development Services Monthly Engineering Report of the Transportation and Engineering Division. Do we have anything to add?
Nothing.
Okay, so we will receive and file that. And do we have anything additional, Mr. President?
Nothing else.
Okay, thank you. Nothing under other or items in review. Can I have a motion to adjourn, please?
So moved.
I'll take it.
Okay, we have a motion, second, all in favor?
Aye.
No nays, motion passed, and we are adjourned.
Yeah. Jen, she's a yes. I'd like to call the special meeting of October 28th, 2019 to order. Can you call the roll, Madam Clerk?
Trustee Arnett.
Present.
Trustee Mills.
Present?
Trustee Newell.
Present.
Trustee Palafis.
Present.
Trustee Stanton.
Present.
Trustee Gata.
Present.
Mayor McLeod.
Present. Trustee Arnett, you want to lead us to the pledge? Everybody please rise. Thank you, Trustee Arnett. We have two items of additional business. A is request board approval of a resolution urging the General Assembly to enact public safety pension fund consolidation. This was reviewed at the committee meeting earlier. I'll accept a motion.
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any discussion on this?
Just want to thank Mr. Norris for he's had quite a deal working on this too with the state, hasn't he? Good job. Yeah, very good.
I wonder which cooperating witnesses you were dealing with at those meetings. If there's no other questions, can you poll the board, Madam Clerk?
Trustee Arnett.
Aye.
Trustee Mills.
Aye.
Trustee Newell.
Aye.
Trustee Palafis.
Aye.
Trustee Stanton.
Aye.
Trustee Gata.
Aye.
Mayor McLeod.
Aye, motion carried. 3B, request board approval of a payment from the developers portion of the 2017 tax levy year EDA Special Tax Allocation Fund, $5,153,317 to Sears Roebuck and Company as a developer, and $2 million to Community Unit School District 300, pursuant to October 23, 2019 court order of the United States Bankruptcy Court for the Southern District of New York.
So moved.
A second.
Motion is second. This will clear out the 2017 allocations. Is that correct, Counselor?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any questions? Seeing none, can you poll the board, Madam Clerk?
Trustee Arnett.
Aye.
Trustee Mills.
Aye.
Trustee Newell.
Aye.
Trustee Palafis.
Aye.
Trustee Stanton.
Aye.
Trustee Gata.
Aye.
Mayor McLeod.
Aye, motion carried. Chair would accept a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
A second.
Motion is second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have a motion carried. We are adjourned.